Welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Any Percent Critical Mode Speedrun tutorial. Today we're going to be covering Port Royal, but this is actually going to be a little bit shorter of a video because the real meat and potatoes of this world is the boat fight segment. And I've actually already recorded two videos that I think hold up pretty well. I think are still very, very good at showing you what to do in that fight, which is an incredibly difficult fight. So we're going to be going over, in this episode, everything of Port Royal that isn't boat fight. So basically the beginning of it and then Barbossa. That's that's essentially everything else. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off landing in Port Royal, you're going to be immediately summoning Chicken Little, and similar to Timeless River, we're going to be using Chicken Little a hell of a lot in this world. Skip this cutscene. This first fight will end by either you taking damage or doing enough hits. You can actually just Blizzard twice, and Chicken Little's whistle also counts as hits. So Chicken Little's going to whistle, you're going to do two Blizzards, and it's just going to end the fight. Easy. And this next fight is what I like to jokingly consider the only consistent fight in the entire game. I have done this every single run I have ever done, and it has never failed. So that's nice. Basically, we're just going to immediately do two Blizzards and two Thunder finishers, and that'll end it. Don't need to lock on or anything. Chicken Little's just going to whistle in. You just immediately Blizzard. Yay, easy fight. How nice. So next fight, run across the bridge. Another one where Chicken Little is going to be incredibly helpful. We're going to open this one by immediately doing two fires. Those two fires are going to kill this first wave of shadows. You don't have to wait for them to be pulled in and all, just immediately do it. And then once they die here, take a couple of steps back just to encourage Chicken Little to whistle in these next 6 enemies that spawn. And then I step back forward to make sure I have them all around me, and then start another two fires. These two fires will kill the shadows. Occasionally it'll kill one or two of these cannon guys, but it doesn't matter if they do. Just make sure these two fires kill the shadows. If one happens to live, then go ahead and do a normal finisher. But if not, just do the two fires, take a step back again. The next two soldiers are going to spawn. Chicken Little's going to whistle them in, and then you can do two fires and then two thunder finishers to kill everything. Fire. Little bad luck there. Chicken Little said hold it, but didn't actually do anything. Usually he'll Firecracker, which will knock these two guys up in the air, and sometimes it even allows you to kill in one Thunder finisher. But unfortunately it took me 2 here since he didn't do anything, and then I just reacted with the triangle push. That's a mostly consistent fight with a few little tiny variations. A little bit of movement here. I'm going to lock on to this cannon guy when he spawns, and then target switch over to this guy. And then I'm going to slide dash into him, and then go into FPS mode. So what that does is it gets you... I have Chicken Little level 2, but you do want that before you go into boat fight. So if you didn't have it, you'd do this, go into FPS mode. And what you can also do, it's not like incredibly important, but you can use his baseballs and kill this cannon guy as well, which you'll see me do here. So lock on target switch, slide dash, kill this guy. 18 extra experience. Not a big deal if you don't happen to kill him. Here, no menu, just immediately back out, talk to Will, and we're going to get into this next fight. So this is another one that's mostly consistent. What you're going to do is immediately summon Chicken Little and then lock on, which will cause you to lock onto this guy. Chicken Little can either spawn in front of you or behind you, and depending on where he spawns, will decide whether or not this guy has enough time to get a bomb out. If he has enough time to get a bomb out, it's not a big deal. It's just more than likely you're going to have to do a little bit of cleanup. But basically what will happen is Chicken Little is going to whistle everybody in. We're going to do, just like that second fight, 2 Blizzards, 2 Thunders. Or... I take it back. 3 Blizzards and a Thunder. You also saw me do a little bit of target switching in there. I'm keeping an eye while I'm doing these Blizzards on if all the enemies are getting hit. So I noticed that this cannon wasn't taking any damage from my Blizzards. So I did a little target switch to the left to make sure this guy got hit by one of the finishers, and then target switched back over to the pirate when I was doing my Thunder finisher, just to ensure that he's getting hit, which is the most important part. And like I said, occasionally that Final Thunder isn't going to clear out everything, but more than likely, you know, whatever's left will just have a tiny bit of health, so you can finish him off with an Under Thunder or whatever. Just something interesting to note here. At this point, Jack actually just left the party without your control, and the party member has surrendered their equipment. So if you were low on potions, you actually get 4 from Jack for free. You don't have to take it from him. When he leaves, he immediately gives them all to you. So that's just a free 4 potions. Just something to note. No menu there or anything. Just head on over to the minute fight. We're going to summon Chicken Little before we enter. And what you're looking for here is 13 kills. That's what I would say is like a good fight. If you get 12, not bad, but 13 is kind of what you're looking for. We want to be making sure we're getting as many kills as possible and collecting the money as well. So start the fight off by immediately running backwards. We want Chicken Little to pull all these guys in. They can't be pulled in while they're in the shade, so just obviously keep that in mind. And also be aware as this guy's shooting, get ready to press the RC. If you're too far away, the RC isn't going to pop up, but you can still get shot, which is really dumb. So just be aware of that. But the general idea here is just to try to gather all the enemies together so that they're in range to be blizzarded over and over. I also, as I'm waiting, will do a couple of hits just to get a little extra damage, but I'm constantly being aware of, 1, is a finisher going to knock them into the shade? And if I think that's a worry, then I'm not going to do a finisher. And 2, are any of these guys getting ready to RC me? And if it looks like they are, then I'm going to not do my next attack. I'm going to land and get ready to use the RC. So backing up just to try to encourage Chicken Little whistle everybody in, and doing some blizzards. Did a Thunder finisher there. Kind of whatever. Thunder takes a little more MP, so don't totally recommend, but mostly just stick with blizzards here. One thing you should also be aware of is be careful not to be next to this chest. I have died by accidentally trying to do the RC to deflect the pirate shot and then accidentally opening the chest, so just try not to stay next to this thing. Try to just kind of keep in this area. So I collected all the money in the MP orbs too. So there I felt confident about doing a finisher. Again, making sure that that guy got hit. Saw the little movement I did to... Whoops. Accidentally backed out of the full screen. Sorry. Saw the little movement I did to force Chicken Little whistle him, just getting out of the way so that he whistles. The reason I say 13 kills is it's kind of the most reasonable to get. When you clear out that 4th wave, or I mean that 2nd wave of 4, just 1 guy is going to spawn immediately for whatever reason. Eventually the next guys will spawn, but this guy will kind of come out and he'll be the first that you deal with. So a lot of times you're able to kill him before the next 3 get to you, so you'll basically have another 4 coming. So essentially to get the 13 kills, it's 3 waves of 4 plus 1 extra. That doesn't quite happen here, because this guy takes his time to get out, and I don't have time to kill him before these other guys get in. I just decide to go into my blizzards here because they're all out. But that guy dies early enough that I have time for this guy to come in. Chicken Little's beating him up a little bit, helping me out. And I just barely get this last kill. So that's 13. It's what you're looking for. Not a super hard fight, but just something to try to keep count of. Here, something I didn't show in my boat fight videos is the pre-boat fight. What you want to do for this fight is immediately walk to forward left, so holding about like 10, 11 o'clock. And once you get to about here, then you'll summon Chicken Little. You want to make sure you summon Chicken Little before Donald's Thunder lands, because if Donald thunders this guy, then he's not going to be whistled in. So basically walking out to about here and then summoning Chicken Little. What's funny is while you're summoning Chicken Little, Donald's Thunder might still land, but it doesn't do any damage, nor does it stun this guy, because we're in like a frozen time space or whatever as the summon's happening. But basically, you summon him, then we're going to run backwards to like this area. get Chicken Little to whistle all 3 guys in. 3 blizzards. Chicken Little firecracker there, so that's going to knock these guys up into the air. And a thunder finisher on the guy you're targeting sometimes will clear all of them, but a lot of times it doesn't. So what I like to do is, during my thunder finisher, target switch over to one of the other guys. And that gives better odds of killing all 3 for whatever reason. Anyways, once these 3 are dead, this last pirate's going to spawn. I walk all the way up to the edge of the shade, which is about where he spawns, and then do a slide dash to make sure I push him out of there. And then I'll just slide dash into all blizzards. Chicken Little helped me out, so I was able to kill with my second blizzard finisher. And as I said earlier, this would be getting us into boat fight, but I already have videos of those, which will be linked in the description. So definitely go check those out, because it's a very important and difficult fight. So you'll want to be as equipped as possible to deal with it. But anyways, skipping over boat fight, we'll be going into the barrels fight. You'll have a menu that immediately opens up here after boat fight. I screw up here, but take Donald out and replace him with Goofy. I forget to do that, and then I just do it in the menu right here. But yeah, switching Donald out for Goofy, then going into the fight. And I wanted my command menu on the drive side, because we will be doing that. So the first thing you'll do is you're going to immediately run to the right, where there's a first barrel right here. You're going to run over to this barrel, get close enough to where you can do an RC, but you're going to lock on to these pirates, or these air pirates, and use a thunder on them. So let's see. So I use the thunder, and then I cancel it and use the RC. What that's doing is these pirates are immediately going for this barrel, and if they hit it 5 times, I'm pretty sure it's 5 times, then the barrel will die. So basically, each one of these guys hitting it twice plus 1 more. So by using the thunder here, that protects, or that stops him from attacking temporarily, and Goofy's actually going to run over and start attacking the pirates too, which will stop them from hitting the barrel. Actually, you know, I don't know. Let's not say it's 5. I almost feel like it's inconsistent how much damage it takes to kill a barrel. But regardless, do that to make sure they don't punch the shit out of it and make you lose. We're going to use the RC on this barrel, then go right over to this barrel, use the RC again. Then we're going to use our drive explosion to hit all of these pirates out of the way, and then immediately go into the RC to hit this barrel. Bam. Run over, jump on top of here. RC. And to the next one. Boom. Easy peasy. Barrels is something that has never been 100% consistent. There is like a 1 in 100 chance that like one of those air pirates will get over to you like way early when you're up top in this area. It's incredibly rare, but it can mess with the fight. So all I'll say about that is if there's like a ton of guys surrounding this barrel, jump up and hit all of them and then go into your RC. Probably even jump up and do a finisher on them just to get them really staggered. But just trying to get them all out of the way so they don't punch you while you're trying to use it. But barrels is pretty straightforward. Yeah, that's all to say about this. Now we're going to run straight on over to Barbossa. Nothing too much to say here, except in this movement, occasionally one of these pirates will shoot late, and if he's trying to shoot you while you're running over, just jump over it. You'll see the RC pop up. Don't use it, just jump over it. Tiny little thing there. Keep running on over. Obviously having Valor Form here is very important. And run through the final area, jumping over this pirate, because sometimes he attacks you immediately, so just in case. So, start of this fight, the Illuminator can appear in one of, I think, 4 spots. So what I like to do is hop up on this rock, and then just start turning my camera to try to find him. So he can be like here, or here, or here, or the worst one is when he spawns right over where Barbossa is. In this case, I get the best spawn. So just looking for it. Oh, there it is. 4 Valor hits kills it. Worst spot is if it spawns right here, because when you kill it, basically Barbossa is going to immediately come out swinging, and it's like almost impossible to avoid damage. So just be aware of that. But what we're going to do is run over to Barbossa, hit him before he starts an attack, because as he's attacking, he's going to be immovable, so we want to immediately run over and stagger him. And finisher, I'm going to revert and then blizzard him, because Barbossa works exactly the same as the pirates, and blizzards freezes them, stops them from moving, and then we're just going to do constant air combos, trying to keep him in this area. In this video, I don't do an amazing job of it, but basically just constant air combos, keep him in this area, be aware that you're not knocking him in this shade or the shade that's over here. See, I kind of do one hit and then get at a better angle to make sure I'm hitting him in this direction. Double finishers when you feel like you're able to, but don't be afraid to just do a single finisher, just like that. I felt like if I did a double finisher there, it was going to knock him out of the corner. There's a couple edges he can get caught on here. He can get caught on this, in this corner, and then you can just wail on him pretty well. Or there's a little edge here that he can get caught on. So if he's there, you can feel a little safer about doing double finishers. One thing to know, when he comes out of the ice, basically all you can do is a full combo double finisher. If you do any more than that, you're at risk of him retaliating. So as he comes out of the ice, just be aware to not do any more of that. Another thing here, I notice he's kind of far away from me, so I blizzard him to stun after I did that double finisher on him. Actually, honestly, that double finisher was probably not smart. He's getting a little close to getting in this shade in area, so just be aware of it. Careful with your combos, but do the double finisher. He's still in stun, so I know I can blizzard him. And then I blizzard him, and then do a slide dash to quickly get over, and then I'm going to run around him and start hitting him back in the right direction. Like, I was right on the edge of that shade. Kind of dangerous, but it's a pretty easy fight. Pretty straightforward, but just be aware of your surroundings. Because it's incredibly frustrating to just take a death. And if he escapes from your blizzard loop here, he's really hard to get back into it. Just saying, just putting that out there. But that's about all to cover with Port Royal. Again, the boat fight videos are in the description. Hope you learned something, and I'll catch you in the next one.